Hello and welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. My name is Julie Hogbin and I am the creator of the 3 weekly episodes that are produced: Wealth Wednesday, the A to Z of Business on Friday, and a longer content piece or interview on a Monday. If you like what you hear, please share this podcast if you think it would support and help somebody else. The voices in our head are there to serve us in one way or another. And I have just come off of a Zoom call, and one of the people on the Zoom call asked about which voice to listen to, and whether it's the voice that is shouting at you or the voice that is being very quiet. And the reality is, we will listen to the voice that is serving us in the moment. If you listen to the voice that is quiet and telling you what you want to hear in that moment, then that is the voice that you're going to listen to. If the voice that is being loud and telling you to do something that you don't want to do, or to stop you doing something that you do want to do, then there's a reason for that as well. Now, our inner voices come from our habits in one respect and our unconscious in another. And we are 95% habit. So if you think of what you do most of the day, most of the time, on a regular pattern, they are your habits. And habits are formed through repetition. You do something, you do it again and again and again and again, and you create the habit. And the habit creates your results. Now, if you want to change your results, and if you want to change your results for you, not for anybody else, but for you, so I'll come to self-love, self-esteem in another episode. We did a room on that on Clubhouse yesterday. If you want to change the results that you're achieving, and you want to change the results that you are achieving for you rather than anybody else, so you're doing it for you because that is what you want to do, then listen to the voice, whether it is shouting at you or it is talking to you quietly. That will enable you to take the next step. Now, please remember that one of the tasks of our unconscious is to keep us safe. Our unconscious is programmed fight, flight or freeze. It is programmed to keep us safe. So if we have a perception that something we are going to do, that we want to do, has a fear factor to it, whatever that might be, your unconscious will shout at you to tell you not to do it, because its perception of you changing your habit is scaring it. It scares you, it scares your unconscious. Now, it is a bit convoluted, I have to admit, but once you get your head around this concept and this thought process, you can basically achieve and do whatever it is you want to achieve and do. Your habits formed over many years, depending on how old you are. May have had the same habit for a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. The longer you've had the habit, I would suggest the harder it will be to change, because it is so ingrained. The less time you've had the habit, and it's still a habit, it will potentially be easier to change because you've not been doing it for as long. So you're still open to changing things. There used to be a saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can. With patience, with perseverance, with dedication, with repetitive new actions. Anybody can change anything with repetitive, compounding actions. Small steps, one at a time, get you to a different place. And that takes me back to the great old saying by Einstein: doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result is his definition of insanity. So if you want a different result, you need to do different things. Knowing is one thing, taking action is another. There is a bit in the middle, which from knowing to action, you need a plan, you need a reason, you need a vision, you need to know why you're doing it, you need to know what you're doing it for. Lots of people call it know your why. My belief is it's far deeper than that. It's not just knowing your why, it's knowing the what, it's knowing the how. Yes, there is a bigger vision. So what is your end game, your end goal, which can change, which can alter. You can have mini visions on the way to the big vision. And ultimately, coming back to where we started with this episode, the little voice in your head or the big voice in your head, whichever way it's talking to you, is what is controlling your bodily actions. If you want to change what you're doing, if you want to change the results you're getting, you need to create a bigger discomfort with what you've got, which then allows you to change it to something new. But you have to be really dissatisfied with where you are now to change it to something different. You have to create the dissatisfaction with where you are now so that you can move forward. You have to create the dissatisfaction. Now, whether where we are now is good or bad, for want of two different words, good or bad, it's your comfort zone. You are comfortable being there. It's why people stay in abusive relationships. I'm not just talking about women, men do it as well. It's why people stay in jobs that they don't like. It's why people do all sorts of things they don't like. It's why people continue to eat cake when they are many pounds overweight and it's affecting their health, because it's comfortable, it's what they know. If you want to do something different, create the dissatisfaction with what you've got, and I mean really create the dissatisfaction. You are shaking your comfort zones up. You're going to come out of your comfort zone. You will go through a learning growth. You will go through a learning zone. You will go through a growth zone. The growth zone takes you to another place. That next place creates the next comfort zone. You'll go through a learning zone. You'll go through a growth zone. The next place creates another comfort zone. When you think about growth, personal improvement, creating different results, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a journey of growth, of improvement, of development, of new learning, of putting it into action. Now that's the reality of the situation. That is the reality. Change has pros and it has cons. You give up one thing, you gain something else. You gain something else, you give up something else. We have so much energy, we have so much time. You need to utilise the time and the energy that you have in an appropriate manner to get it to support you to get to where you want. There's a lot in this, and ultimately, if we create the plan, create the vision, truly believe in it. I'm going to go back to my goal setting, the practical how-to guide book that I wrote back in 2015 and updated it in 2019, maybe in 2020. You have to know what you want to achieve it. If you don't know what you want, you will achieve whatever it is that your unconscious decides you want. We are goal-driven individuals. Everything we do is because we want the result. Now, there's a reverse psychology linked into that, because if you don't like the result you're getting, you are achieving it by your actions, and whether that's sitting in front of the telly drinking a bottle of wine, whether that is getting on a phone call to somebody and spending 3 hours when you only really wanted to spend 5. There's a whole process internally that goes with you to achieve the result that you're achieving. We are goal-driven beings. Everything we do, everything we achieve is because we wanted it. Now, some of you might not like hearing that message, and I tell myself it regularly. If I've done something or not done something, it's because I wanted the result of the doing or the not doing for me personally. Think about what you want. Think about creating the plan. Think about the voices in your head. Which one are you listening to? It might be the loud one that is so fed up with you not listening that it's shouting at you. And it might be the quiet one because it is soothing you and complimenting you and congratulating you. And it could be the loud one you need to listen to. It could be the quiet one that you need to listen to. But listen to what they are saying and then dig deep as to why they are saying that thing to you, whatever it is. We are designed to keep ourselves safe, but we are also designed to keep ourselves safe against a perception, our perception of fear and something that is frightful. Now, depending on how big our comfort zones are, some people will perceive one thing as being frightening when another person won't. People are very able to publicly speak and people are very unable to publicly speak. The difference? They've not learnt how. Everything is learnable, everything is changeable, everything is achievable when we have the belief system and the mechanics, the mechanisms, the processes to achieve that thing that we want. Coming back to that little voice, listen to the little voice, question it, ask it why it's doing what it's doing. If it's given you the right answer for you in the moment, thank it. If it's telling you to do something or it's comparing you to somebody or something and you're not finding that useful and attached to your vision, thank it for its intervention, thank it for its knowledge, and tell it that you're not going to listen to it. Now say thank you because it is trying to help you. When you thank somebody for trying to help you, it will appease the thing, them, whatever it is, and slowly but surely it will come to your way of thinking. Now there's various other ways you can work with your unconscious. For some of you listening to this, you're going to go, she's off her head, she's away with the fairies. For some of you listening to this, you'll be thinking, spot on, thank you, Julie. You've told me what I needed to hear this morning. Whichever camp you're in, please believe that it is your unconscious that drives you. It is your unconscious that creates your results. We are bombarded with so much information. We are bombarded with so many decisions to make that without our unconscious helping us, we would be in complete overwhelm all of the time about everything. That is why we form the habits. So look at your habits, look at what you're doing to support you or to hinder you. Look at the habit, unpick it, go back to what created it in the first place. There will be a reason, without any doubt, and it's very possibly something that somebody else said to you that you took on board without even knowing you were doing it, took it deep into your unconscious, that then creates through the habit and into your behaviours. If you want to talk to me about any of this, please do. I have been working with this information for decades. This is not new to me. It may be new to you. It is not new to me. Seriously, we can all create the destiny we want. We do have to change. If what we've got isn't what we want, then we need to change to get what it is we want. Now, this whole episode has become due to a webinar that I have just been sitting in and listening to people ask a couple of questions, and it really triggered this whole thought process. The unconscious is powerful, and the unconscious drives us. If you want to know any more, you want to work with me on this, please contact me. I will be very happy to help you because we all deserve to have the best. We're born perfect. We've got one life. Depending on your beliefs, we've got one life. Let's live that to the best of our abilities. Talk to you all very soon. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast. If you have any questions, please contact me on any one of the social media channels. I'm on most of them, including Clubhouse and YouTube, and my books are on Amazon. If you would like a topic discussed, please tell me, and if you have found this information useful, please share and please leave a review.